Yo, what's up, guys? We are back for another episode of the OMG It's Derek podcast. Once again, joined by the wonderful Mr. Kodeations, who he's keeping it on point lately. It's probably because he's becoming so popular with his live streams and his YouTube channel that he's putting more time and whatever into his appearance, because every time I see him now, this guy's beard's like perfectly trimmed. I don't know. What's up with that, dude?
You know how it is, man. No, I'm just kidding. Realistically, yeah, it's just I don't know. I've been more in the grooming mood lately. So I've been trimming it up. I even bought some, you can ask the wife, I spent like, a good 30-40 bucks on some actual beard products, so I've been like in the shower, lathering up just with my beard products. Well, yeah, doing the whole works,
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Look at your face. You're like, and all right, I guess.
All right.
Oh yeah. Some good old beard stuff,
Maybe one day when I'm having 300 people live streams, I'll feel the same way. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey,
become a little bougie for my ass.
Hey, listen. Maybe if I had a beard sponsor, anybody out there want to take me up on some offers, I'll start plugging the whole beard serum products. But no, it's honestly, I have no clue. I go through these weird stages, man. You know what I mean? Where I want to grow out a nice beard, and keep it all nice and tight and groomed, and look good. And then there's just random, then I'll be like one day and I'll just be like, you know what, dude, this just takes way too much work and time, and I don't want to put it anymore. So then I'll just let it go raggedy, for months. And then I end up shaving it all the way down because I look in the mirror one day. I'm like, man, I look so homeless, shave it off. You know what I mean? Then I shave it off. And then it's like, homeless. Dude, it's this horrible, vicious cycle, man. Then I shave it off, you know what I mean? And then I let it grow out. And then I get to that, medium stage. And then I'm like, maybe I should buy some of those, fancy $30, products and, put into it and actually comb it with a beard and make it look all nice and trim all this neck hair off and, make it all look nice and tight. And then I do that for a couple months. And then again, it repeats itself. I just wake up one day.
I will say the neck hair is not all trimmed off right now.
Not right now. No, not right now. No, I'm due for another trim for sure.
Yeah. Well, real quick, before we dive into any more,
what's up?
Even though the beard conversation is absolutely riveting and I would enjoy talking about that the rest of the night. Let's go ahead and let the people know tuning in to this podcast what exactly we're doing today. So Kodeations and I, well, at least I know on my end, I've been extremely busy. I've been out of town a lot. We had issues with my wife's grandmother passing away. Then I had a 2-week road trip that I had planned with my daughter before that had even happened and took up time. And then I got home and I had a family reunion that I had to go out of state for a weekend. So I've just been gone a lot. I've been busy a lot, catching up. When I came back in between all of this stuff, we did have an episode, the last episode we did with Metal for Breakfast. If you did not check out that episode, it is live. It's the last episode, either on, wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, it's a good one too. It's a good one. It's a good one.
That's
you want to catch it.
It's a really good one. So you should definitely check it out if you haven't. But for this episode, what we thought we'd do is Kodeations and I honestly haven't had that much time to catch up recently. And we haven't done this in a while. If you've been listening to the podcast for some time, you know that once in a while we just kind of spitball and talk about our own channels, what they're doing, what we're learning personally. And we think that translates and helps others that might be a couple steps behind us. Maybe, we're not huge YouTubers. We're growing. Kodeations is really starting to take off. But we're not experts, but we might be able to help those of you that, are just starting a channel, or you're, almost about to reach your first 1,000 or 2,000 or even 5,000 subs. Those are the types of people that we feel sometimes sharing what we're dealing with, what we're learning, we might be able to help. And so that's kind of what these episodes is us. It's us bullshitting. It's us talking about what's going on in our lives, what's going on with our channels, how we're dealing with stuff as content creators, how we deal with stuff as fathers of children and married to wives, all of that stuff. So if that helps you out, cool. If not, if this, if you've heard these ones before and they don't interest you, like I said, the last one we did with Metal for Breakfast, excellent. The one we did with and if you listen to that and you're more intrigued in NFTs, the one we did with The Hustle House on NFTs was good as well. And who was the other guest we had that we could recommend? Who was the other one we did?
Nike Finesse. Nike Finesse on TikTok.
to almost, what was it, 2 million followers
Yeah, ridiculous, dude. It
on
was
TikTok.
insane.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking for a good podcast, any of those should tickle that itch.
Yep.
And this one, like I said, if you're a newer content creator, hopefully help you. And even if you're a larger creator, maybe just some of the shit we deal with, you deal with too, and you might relate to and all that stuff. But that's the plan for this episode. So with that said, we can keep talking about the beard. We can talk about whatever, but let's dive in.
Basically, yeah, exactly. I mean, anybody that's currently listening here, I mean, dude, we're humans, man. Like that's what it is, I mean, we just need to have sometimes, these episodes where we just do, full on human reaction, where we're just like, bouncing ideas back and forth, talking to each other, spitballing and shit. So anyways,
Exactly.
man,
So
with
with
all
that
that being
said-
said, dude, look at this luscious beard, dude. It is just amazing.
I'm
No,
not going
just
back
kidding.
to the beard. I'm not going back to the. How are you doing, man? How's life been treating you? How's
Man,
the
I will tell
YouTube
you,
channel treating you?
well, speaking on the YouTube channel, specifically, I mean, everything is going good, dude. I mean, I can't complain one bit. I think I definitely would say for, anybody that's tuning in that does YouTube stuff, I mean? I definitely think like, talking and listening to like these podcasts, like the Metal for Breakfast one, you know what I mean? And some of those other ones, like really Metal for Breakfast is kind of what really, kind of kicked it off for me. Dude, I've been doing so much better on like, in a sense, not giving a shit, you know what I mean? But like, but also caring, but only caring in the things that matter. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, I've been on this path, and it's been good. I mean, it's been awesome. So far it's working phenomenally, but like, I've been on this path where it's like, I've been instead of trying to focus on some of these, negative things or, the parts like the analytical, all these other kind of back end things, that at the end of the day, sure. I mean, if I was, my whole idea was to grow the channel as fast as possible and all these metrics should actually matter. I've been trying to hone in on making what I have, right now, making it work, and really putting in all that time and energy into, pumping it into those avenues, and focusing on the creative side of things and really pushing that. And that's kind of what I've been doing. And I've been having an absolute blast, And that's kind of what I've been trying to focus on the past couple of weeks it's like I've been, pretty much just, grinding out the same game that I've been grinding out, my YouTube channel, anybody that's currently listening, that's Cookie Run Kingdom. But, been pretty much grinding out that. I have been currently, I can't, I'm underneath NDA, so I can't talk about the game or anything, but I've been also putting in a ton of extra time into this, MMO that is, currently in pre-alpha stage right now. And it's an absolute blast. And so, but the beauty of it is, I guess is where my whole channel comes into play, is I've been pretty much just playing and doing what I want. Do you know what I mean? But still staying true to my channel and what I want. Want to accomplish. And like, so instead of like me pushing content for these other games that are coming out, that might be popular, you know what I mean? Like a buddy of mine just gained like 36,000 subscribers from this one new game that came out. And I played it once on stream, you know what I mean? And my whole goal, or my mindset, was that old mindset, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss this game. I want to keep on, I want to play this new game. I want to try this new game. And even though I tried it once on live, the spark, like it wasn't hitting me the same. You know what I mean? Like I was like, it is nice to play this game. It's like, but how much, content could I, or how much, could I get done in my game that I'm playing now? You know what I mean? It's like, how much could I, instead of doing this or stretching myself thin, it's like, like, let's just back off at some of this, let's continue focusing this on the grind. And it's been working, dude. The channel's growing. Everything, it's snowballing. I think I want to say the last live stream, I think it was not last live as in like on my channel, but last live, I think it would have been like last Monday, maybe last Tuesday, like maybe, no, it was last Wednesday. Sorry. Not this Wednesday, like as in yesterday, but the Wednesday prior to that. I think I hit my all-time high. I think I had like 369 or people watching me while I was playing. And it was insane, dude. It was insane. I'm talking about, I didn't even know what to say. I had a guy come in. He dropped $100 dono I was freaking out. I think I ended up ending the stream with like 6 new memberships to my YouTube. I mean, it was just insane. You know, I mean, my energy level was through the roof. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even go to sleep, dude. I literally got off of the live stream at like, I don't even know, like 11 something at night. And I'm like trying to go to bed. And I'm like this, you know, I mean, I'm just cracked out, dude. I'm like, I don't even know how to even do this. You know what I'm saying? Cause I mean, it's just fun, you know, it was awesome. You know, I mean, I was playing the game. We were doing some summon, some gotcha in the game. I mean, it was fun, dude. It was an absolute blast. And like I said, that was the biggest one that I've had, you know what I mean? And that's not, and obviously, you know, anybody that's currently listening, I mean, that's not regular, you know what I mean? That's not my regular, you know, my regular viewers. I mean, that was just a massive update in the game, you know what I mean? That dropped that night at that exact same time, you know, that I happened to be live. You know, so I mean, like it just
Right.
happened to snowball that way. I was the first, you know, not talking my content down, but I'm saying, but you know, I was like, it just there was other factors. The stars aligned, you mean, for that to happen. But it was really cool. And then last night, on live stream, I was streaming a game that I've only occasionally community streamed is what I call it. So it's like, you know, one of those games where, you know, it's Brawl Stars is what the game is called, but it's one of those I've been using that game as a, you know, kind of like all of me and my viewers, can all group up and play together in this little like battle royale type game, little like mini game. And so I've been using that game. But what's really cool though is last night I was playing and I was rocking about 50 people in there, which is my normal average for my streams. And about 50 people in there, and all of a sudden, the first time it's ever happened, somebody on YouTube rated me,
Yeah.
which I thought that was cool. I've never had that happen before. So like I was sitting there, watching, you got my analytics, pulled up here, my stream health and everything. And I'm playing the game on my phone. And all of a sudden I look up and it went from like 50 to like 170. And I was like, holy shit, what just happened? I didn't know, because it doesn't even tell you. Like I got nothing popped on my screen. Nothing happened. It was literally like, I just saw all these, my viewer numbers, just completely jump. I didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, like I had like my chat just started freaking rolling. I mean, just snowballing. And then all of a sudden I look at them like, guys, what just happened? I'm like, we just went from like 50 viewers all night long to like 170. What? I was like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, then the person who actually rated me, was messaging in the chat box, and I just happened to catch it with flowing. And he was just like, he's like, hey man, I just rated you, blah, blah, blah. I just got off of streaming. And I was like, oh dude, well, thanks, man. Like that's all, you know what I mean? It was the first time it's ever happened, but I thought it was super cool, I mean, I thought it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
super cool. And then a couple of them hung out, I mean, with any raids, I think Twitch is the same, you know what I mean? Somebody can raid you, but it's not like most of the time anyway, it's not like you're going to continuously rock that 170 for a while. You know what I mean? Like it was like maybe 5-10 minutes went by, you know what I mean? And then I dropped back down, but I did drop back down to like 70 or 80. So, I mean, I still had like 20 or 30 people
Yeah, I
still
was gonna
remaining
say, I
and
think
hanging
you
on.
just keep a bit of it each time it happens, and you just hope it keeps happening. And each time you add a bit more, and
Well, I
maybe
just
they
thought it
become
was really
regular.
cool. I mean, have you
Yeah,
ever been
yeah.
rated on YouTube? I've never been rated on YouTube.
No, not on YouTube. I don't think. I think that's a new feature. Actually, I know they did some new updates. YouTube. Let's see. YouTube new updates
The only
to
thing that I could
live
find,
streams.
I tried finding a thing on it last night, but the only thing that I could find on the thing
Maybe
is,
they
it's
did
called,
it.
the only thing that I found that it was called redirect. So when you go to set up your live stream on YouTube, specifically YouTube, I don't know how it is anywhere else, like on Restream or anything, but like YouTube, when you set up a live stream, you have an option on the left hand side where like you would like activate like monetization, you know what I mean, and activate live chat. There's an option for channel or redirection. So you can redirect, and that's where I was reading online today that you can, when you click the end stream button on your stream, it'll automatically redirect you along with everybody that was on that stream to whoever's channel you put in that box.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if that's what they did. You know what I mean? So I wonder, if it instantly, you know what I mean? Like if that person saw me streaming, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, maybe because he was already my friend in Brawl Stars. So I'm wondering if, he just saw me streaming, you know what I mean, on my channel when he was streaming or whatever. And then he just, copied and pasted my, URL link in there, said his goodbyes for the stream and then ended it. And then it just threw everybody onto my stream. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
assuming so. I just thought it was very interesting because that's the first time it's
Yeah.
ever happened to me.
Yeah. Like I said, I've never had a raid from YouTube, only from Twitch, and I had one on Facebook, but
Oh,
never,
Facebook. Okay.
never YouTube. So yeah, that's very cool though. I mean, getting rated, cool. It's Yeah, it's really cool, especially the first time it happens. Like you said, after a while, it kind of becomes like you realize most people don't stay, so it's like, okay, it's cool, but
Right.
it doesn't. I think it's more used. I think the best way for it to be used is almost as like a networking with other streamers and gamers that maybe next time you raid him or something, and then he raids you again, you raid him, and a couple times you guys become friends, and then maybe do a collab together, and his
Right.
and then like as you guys are more and more, then maybe their viewers trickle more over and your viewers to him
Right.
trickle over. I don't
Right.
know.
Right. Or like
I
you
don't
said, or
really
like you said,
understand all the, I mean, the rating and stuff, like it's cool, but at the end of the day, I don't get it a lot because um like you said, it just, if you look at, for at least from my understanding, from just research, I mean, I'm not a big live streamer, so I don't have numbers of my own, but just from the research I've seen of it, it really doesn't look like very many streamers gain much from a raid. I
right.
think unless there's something specific. I think the one time it does really, really good is, let's say, a large streamer that plays, and this could be any game, but I'm just using like a,
Yeah.
but let's say, they're playing the new Call of Duty Battle Royale, and they raid another streamer, and that streamer's a god tier player, like, and so it's like skill, like, oh, I found this person that's really good at the game, then people stay because they're not staying for the personality. When people raid just based on like, oh, here's a person that I think's cool, a lot of times that doesn't translate to their other viewers. It doesn't seem from the data anyway.
Right. Or I could sing, or I could feel, or I could see the same thing happening in the exact same scenario that you just gave, but the person does have a really good personality, you know what I mean? And let's say they just got started, you know what I mean? And they're just not discovered in, in the area, you know what I mean? So meaning like I've seen that happen before with other mobile games, you know what I mean? Where like, I think it was one when Genshin came out, you know, one of the bigger channels was 400,000 subscribers, you know what I mean? And then, they were playing Genshin, but then there was another channel that just got started literally like a month prior to Genshin coming out, do you know what I mean? But then the guy was like super down to earth. I mean, laughy, kind of funny, kind of dude. And then all of a sudden, and I think he only had like, I don't know, 700,000 or 700 subscribers or something like that. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, this big content creator rated him, you know what I mean? On Twitch. This is all on Twitch. And then I do think it worked in his favor, but I don't think it, like you said, I don't think it was more because they like the streamer. I think it was because the bigger content creator, you mean, like told them to. Does that make sense? I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Like it was like, it's hard to explain. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I guess my question is, or not my question, my statement would be like, he was like 700, subscribers. And then after that raid, it went up to like 3,000, you know what I mean? People, even though the guy had 5 or 400,000 watching him, you know what I mean? In that case, it seems like it's more significant, you know what I mean? That 3,000 of those 400,000, you know what I mean, did stick, or at least, subscribe, or, to the guys, not subscribe, but, follow the guy's channel.
Yeah,
But
and again, I would
how many
be
of those are
interested
reoccurring?
to see how many of those people actually watch future content from that
Right.
creator.
That's what I was
Because
going to say.
again, and again, I'm not an expert by any means, but from my understanding of the data, I don't think those numbers are ever as high as people think they would be.
Right. Right.
They
And
actually
that's what
tend
I
to
would
be
agree
quite
with.
low.
Right. And that's what I
Um,
was agree with. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe those, like you said, maybe those 3,000 or 4,000 people, followed his
and
account.
I would even argue that it could possibly hurt your account if, let's say, he had 700 subs and he was getting a 20% conversion on subs to watching his videos in the algorithm. And then he got rated like that and gained 3,000 subs and now had 3,700. But sub his sub click through rate dropped to 2% instead of 20%. I don't actually know. I'm not saying it would, but I'd be
Right.
curious if that would actually negatively affect the person's account.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Because that's normally how YouTube determines whether they push your video to more people past your subs. Because normally they first push a video to your subs to a certain percentage. If the click-through rate's good and then the followed up watch time is good, then they push it out to more of your subs.
Right.
If the click-through rate stays high and the watch time stays high, then they push it out to more of your subs. If it then eventually, and that just keeps building. Then eventually they push it out to other, again, using your thing of Genshin Impact, then they push it out to other Genshin Impact watchers that follow other.
Right.
Then eventually it just keeps building to it's like, okay, they have a high CTR, high watt. We push it out to the entire YouTube user base, and that's the
Right.
the videos you see pop up on their trending and home
Right.
pages and all that shit.
Right.
But it all starts from how well the conversion happens from your subs to the video normally is the first push that you get. So I would be intrigued as to how many of those people that rated actually, like you said, it's more like they do it because the person that they were watching is like, oh, go follow this person, so much love. So they go over, hit sub, but then they never watch another video. They don't actually support that creator. And again, I don't know the answer to it. I'm just more putting it out like my thought. Like I question whether that helps or hurts the creator in the long term.
Yeah. And I think
Twitch, I don't think it matters as much.
Right. And I think personally, I think it's just, I think the whole premise behind it was, like you said, I think it's more of like something where it was like, oh, hey, this is a decent or could be an easy tool to get discovered, you know what I mean? By a big, being by somebody else. But I do agree with you. I mean, there's got to be a lot more to it than just like, oh, I'm playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's
And what I
be
would
a lot
be
more.
like you said, you jumped up to like 170, then like you dropped, but you were higher than your normal 50. You were like, I think you said 70, 75 or whatever. I'd be interested to see like in the next 2 or 3 streams, does that number, do you go back down to that 50 and sit there again for the next 2-3 streams, or do you stay a bit higher? And I wish there was a way you could tell. I don't think YouTube offers that deep of analytics. If there was a way if you could tell whether or not it was actually those same people or not.
Right. And and there's it doesn't offer those deep of analytics. I mean, I would argue, or the only thing I would say would be I picked up 5 people. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because I just know that because I saw the subscribes. You know what I mean? So like, again, not saying, not saying, no, not members. I mean, I'm just saying subscribe to like my YouTube channel, like, cause I got my alerts on, you know what I mean? I'm just saying like, I can't say that I can't say that I picked up on, all these, 5 people that are going to constantly, watch, every one of my videos. That I can't guarantee, but I just know that, then sure. Like some of those people that hung around, 5 or 6 of them, that were actually in chat, sitting there talking, even though my numbers were still up 30, you got 20 of them, they're just sitting there chilling, not saying anything. But the couple that were in chat, they were talking. And then I was answering, cause I'm just like you, I look at almost every one of my chats that I can. And then, I got a couple subscribes, right away. And then I got a couple subscribes midway through. And then when I ended the stream, I had a couple people join in on the Discord that was from that guy. His live stream that didn't know me. So, I mean, obviously I made some people, which is kind of nice. But again, I would agree with you. I mean, that return on investment's probably not, as much as it seems to be.
Yeah. I mean, every little bit helps. Like I said, I'm just more intrigued at whether on YouTube, because again, on Twitch, it doesn't really matter because there's no algorithm there doing anything, but on YouTube that's not the case. There is an algorithm, and like I said, and I know subs nowadays on YouTube don't matter as much as they did, and there's a whole wave of people saying they don't matter at all anymore, but I don't know that I buy that entirely.
I don't know about the subs. I don't think the subs don't matter. I will tell you that I think that I have learned enough about the live streaming aspect on YouTube that what is nice is that me streaming that game last night, do you know what I mean? Like when he did raid me, bringing those players in, or those viewers in, it's nice because it does increase my view count. Do you know what I mean? Which then means it's technically increasing my view, percentage or my, my watch time. And the nice part about that is that in the YouTube algorithm, there is an algorithm, thing that would be, okay, all these people are watching me, and they're still watching, and everything else. So then let's show this to more people or whatever via that live stream. So I do know that exists, but again, it's minute. I don't think it's going to make or break anything, you know what I mean? And not only that, I'm playing a game from 2017, you know what I mean? There's not a whole bunch of streamers online, at that same moment, streaming the game. So that's kind of nice, but
makes
no,
sense.
Other than that, everything's going good, man. YouTube channel's going good. We got tons of stuff going on in our life right now, like real life. But before we jump to that, let's jump to your YouTube thing. What's going on with you? What do you got going on with your content, your channels, and your 5 channels, but now 1 channel? And
man, I'm gonna be honest because that's what I try to do with this stuff.
Yep.
Not great.
Okay.
I've been ever since I came back from the two. So we had my wife's grandmother pass. We had to go down to Tampa, Florida for that. We dealt
Yep.
with that. We were down there for about a half a week. We went to call-in hours, then the funeral,
Yep.
flew down there, flew back, and then literally like I think I streamed one day after that, and then I was gone on a 2-week road trip with my daughter, which all that was excellent. Then I got back from the road trip with my daughter, and I felt like I kind of just crashed, and I don't really know why,
Yep.
but I crashed hard, um, real hard.
Okay.
And it was like rough getting back into things. Now luckily, because I have an editor, like my content has still been going out because I've still been doing my live streams. um and so the live streams get done, a video gets made from those by the editor and gets posted. But the truth is, since I've not been doing, because of all this stuff going on, plus then me getting back and just like crashing, I've just it's only been like gameplay videos that have been going on my channel. No reviews, no streaming tutorials, no nothing, no vlogs, nothing like that. Which gaming content, for whatever reason, even though it's like the main content I do, if you calculate in terms of time, like everything, like my live streams, it's always been my worst performing content.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I've not put out any kind of reviews, tutorials, because like I said, part of it was just I was literally gone for my wife's grandmother funeral, 2 weeks out of town, then another weekend out of town for a family reunion, and then like I said, just dealing with some own personal whatever the hell's going on, depression, whatever. um my stuff's tanked, dude. Like, for example, like I was averaging about 210 subs a month. You know how they give you that in the last 28 days when you first log into your YouTube
Yep.
studio. So I was averaging about 210 a month for like the last 3 months, um, 2 to 3 months. Right now, I'm sitting at 76 in the last 28 days.
Damn.
So yeah, the subs per last 28 days has tanked. My views have tanked. Videos that were popping off, older reviews, tutorials that were popping off, that were bringing in a lot of those subs. Um, you know, they're not bringing in the same subs. I just think I don't know why. Maybe there's other better videos out nowadays from when I posted them or something. I don't know.
Well, there
Um,
it's probably has to do with, I'm gonna assume, um recent, you know what I mean? Because I think people, when at least me anyway, when I search YouTube, you mean, when if I search for anything for like OBS, or when I bought this Go XLR and I was looking at for stuff for Go XLR, I don't look at anything old. You know what I mean? I use that filter box, and go to filter, you know what I mean? And then I look at anything, after so many months, or a year, you know what I mean, whatever.
yeah.
So that probably also
Yeah,
helps.
yeah, probably. And a lot of it's reviews. So like, like I had a video of a review of a laptop that I had bought and that was doing really well. And the truth is other laptops are out now. Like people aren't
Yep.
looking up like that laptop's been produced, it's been sent out, it was for sale on, it's probably not for sale in stores anymore.
Right.
There's new laptops that have probably replaced that. So yeah, so all of that stuff combined, but nonetheless, just I've been struggling, man, just trying to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I will say, I did, like last week I did a video. It's a vlog. It's kind of like I bought I got a new drone, a DJI drone. I've used a couple, which I am doing a review on it, and I do have some other products that I'm getting ready to do reviews on. Like I said, I'm finally getting back into the swing of stuff, so I'm assuming those numbers will start to go back up.
Oh yeah.
But I did do that last week, so that should be coming out sometime here this week. Like a vlog, first impressions of like this DJI drone. I went out, did some testing with it,
Yep.
was giving my kind of initial thoughts on it. Uh, it's the brand new drone that came out from DJI, the Air 2S. So I got that coming out. I mean, again, I got some other stuff coming out, but it's the same problem. We've talked about it 100 times on this channel. We've talked about it 100 times personally. I just like you, struggle kind of with the one side of it. I struggle with the other side of it, which is just that Like I want to create the content I want to create, and
Right.
my my I don't want to say, I mean, I don't know another word to use, but my heart is in the gaming. Is I mean, that's everything I do is so that I can game more, in an essence, not game more, but make
But
a
I get what
living
you're
from
saying.
gaming or something, or
Right.
do that full time. Versus trying to have a full-time job with a family. Then kind of, I'll be lucky if I get, well, you know how it is with a full-time job and a family, and then creating content. Like, how much of your time is actually just getting to play the games you want to play? um yeah.
It doesn't exist,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. And so I really struggle with that, because at the end of the day, and I think that's what starts getting me then in my depressive state, is I'm like, so what am I doing all this for if at the end of the day I'm not actually getting to do what I want to do, when I could just go, like, the last couple jobs I've had have all been over $100,000 a year jobs. The one I just had for the last 8 years has been like 100. If you There was some fluctuations as I took some promotions, and then we got sold out to a company, and I took, but average, if you take the average 100,000 a year, there were some years I was making like 125, some years I was making like 80,000. Combine it, 100,000 a year the last 8 years. The job I had before that was my own electrical business, doing residential and commercial electrical work. 100,000 a year doing that over. Um, and I'm just like, then I work in the morning, I'm done, have the whole evening, family, play video games in the evening if I want, like,
Right.
whatever. I put so much work into this stuff, and and again, it's not that I don't mind doing the work, but I run into that issue of, it's like, okay, if I'm doing all this work and I'm doing what brings me in the views and the subs, reviews, tutorials, it's just another job.
Right.
It's no different than any. With the flip side of, I gotta, you know build it for years and years and years, take a chance that it I mean, the chance of you actually becoming a creator that makes over $100,000 a year is pretty fucking slim. I mean, you're talking like athlete numbers,
Right.
like how many people make it to be a professional athlete. That's how many people make it to be a professional content creator. And I'm not like, again, me, I'm super like, if you want to do it, do it. If you like, crush it, da, 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 da. Like, I'm not saying, but it's just like, again, if the issue is doing it but having to do it to where you're not doing what you really want to do anyways, I just don't get the point of it. And
Well, I
maybe
get what you're
that's
saying,
then
because
my
at the end of
question to
the
you. Like, let me phrase it up this way, and hear your response. But like you just we kind of made the joke, and you're like, yeah, you don't. Where I said, like, oh, how often, with you working a full-time job, your family, making content, how much do you actually time get to play the games you actually want to play? And you're like, never. How's that, like, how's then the job you're doing of content creation any different than the job you're doing for somebody, for your boss? You're doing something that you're not actually wanting to do, because that's what's bringing you in the subs, the views, the money.
I
How's it
guess
any different than the
I
other
guess I
job?
guess the difference, okay, well, I guess my statement was a little bit off then, because the way that what I was expressing was not that I don't get to play a game that I want to play.
Right. And I don't mean it to that extreme, because obviously I get to play
Yeah,
games I
no,
want
no,
to
yeah,
play.
no. I know what I guess what I was trying to say. I guess what I was trying to backpedal a little bit was I was my intention on saying that was I was just meaning I don't get to play the game just to play the game. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I'm still playing Cookie Run Kingdom because I enjoy playing Cookie Run Kingdom. Like I'm fine playing that, but I find most of my time when I'm playing the game, it's hardly, I want to say, if I had to put a number on it, I would say once a week, maybe once a week. And that's where I'm playing the game just to be playing the game, not looking to make any content, not recording a video, not like taking notes and, basically scripting out something like that's what I meant, is I'm saying, like, I'm actually playing the game to just enjoy and play the game. I would say that for me has probably been put on the back, and I'm gonna say once a week maybe, and that's if once a week. So basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of times where I come in here, not a lot, every fucking night I come in here, you know, 8 o'clock at night, we put our son down. I come in here, I turn on the camera, turn everything on, load up the game, start working on my video idea, my video topic. I mean, most of the time I've got an idea a couple of days ahead of time, of what I'm going to kind of schedule out, and work on. Excuse me. Work on, so then I just start, going to town on it. Like tonight, I'll use this for example. I got a tier list video coming out for PvP content in this game, right? Because we've had several new characters come out for the past over a month. I haven't made another one of these since last month, you know what I mean? So I wanted to do an updated tier list video. I've already known this for 2 days. So my plan tonight is to do what? Get off the podcast with you, load up the camera, load everything up, you know what I mean? Start, rolling, start recording, boom, knock out a video. I'll probably knock out this video, do you know what I mean? Probably I'm going to say, depending on what time we get out of here, 10 o'clock, 10:30, right? My brain wants to deceive me and lie to me and say, oh dude, you're golden, dude. By 11 o'clock, you'll fucking have this thing edited. You'll have your thumbnail designed, you know what I mean? You'll be able to post this bitch. No, realistically, it's going to be 12 o'clock before I get done doing, the entire thing. And then by then I'm going to look at the time and be like, holy shit, it's 12. It's 12:30. I need to go, shut down my house. Let my dog outside one more time before I go to bed, go lay in bed, play on my phone for maybe 5 minutes, fall asleep half the time. The phone's going to fucking smack me in the face. Then I got to plug it into the charger. You know what I mean? And then I wake up the next morning at 6 a.m. and then I go to work and then I like rinse and repeat and do the same process. That is my typical Monday through Sunday. I mean, that's typical. Like I said, there's occasionally those 1 days a week where, I have to either physically tell myself that I don't need to just go in there and record a video and drop a video, tomorrow just to be dropping a video. You know what I mean? Like the wife wants me to go to bed with her, you know what I mean? Or whatever, whatever is going on. Maybe she doesn't, want me to go to bed or anything like that. And I just want to physically play a game, you know what I mean? Then I'll sit down and just say, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to record a video for tomorrow. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like I'll push it off until the next day. I won't drop one tomorrow. You know what I mean? And so far it's worked. You know what I mean? So far it's worked. I haven't felt like it's hindered me anyway. You know what I mean? By taking that 1 day, you know what I mean? To not do it. But I'm going to agree with you, man. I mean, it's not it, but for me, my goals are a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'm looking to be a full-time content creator because I want to just play the games that I want to play just because I enjoy playing video games. Like, I think I want to do full-time content creation as a full-time job, you know what I mean? Because of the job itself, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's kind of like where I'm still, driving to that goal. You know what I mean? It's like, I set like a 5-year goal for myself, that I'm going to hit this hard, for 5 years, you know what I mean? And just try to grow the shit out of it. Now, is it realistic? Maybe not. You know what I mean? Maybe in 5 years or 4.5 years, I start looking at everything and I'm just like, fuck, man, I can't live off this revenue. You know what I mean? Like, which is possible. And if that's the case, then I need to really, talk to the wife and figure out, okay, are we at a position where I could, can I quit my job? You know what I mean? Could I get a part-time gig? You know what I mean? Where I'm, instead of working 40 hours a week, I'm working 28, but then I'm taking the other 20, you know what I mean? And dumping it more into content to really then push my content even more to try to get me there. Like, or maybe it does work. You know what I mean? Who knows, in 4.5 years or 5 years, I could get enough income, you know what I mean, that, or supplement enough of my income from content creation that then I would, you know what I mean, take the risk or take the leap, and then actually start trying to pursue it, full time, I mean, again, I don't know, man. I mean, it's tough. It's a tough situation because you're right. I mean, I've had to come to the realization numerous times, man, that no, I don't have time for anything else. I mean, and if you want me to be completely honest, I've got a friend, and I'll mention his name because I know he doesn't watch this podcast, but his name's Curtis, and really good friend of mine. And we used to play World of Warcraft and, Hearthstone. We used to just, every single night is my gaming buddy. You know what I mean? Like, we would just like log on, do whatever, like on the PC. We just load up PC, and before I did content, we would just bullshit and talk and hang out just like we do right now in podcasts, and I would just, that was my gaming friend, two different worlds, I mean, he's single guy, 2 years older than me, you know what I mean? No kids, no excuse me, Curtis, but no ambition, kind of just living life, doing whatever he wants to do, paycheck to paycheck style. And for me, I'm the opposite. But long story short, I started doing content, and quite honestly, he kind of pushed me, I mean, he was like, dude, he's like, you've always talk about it. You always talk about it. Just fucking do it. Go make a video. You know what I mean? I talk to you, I got into this whole thing. Long story short, he reached out to me. No joke. He reached out to me last week, and we've kind of like lost, the whole like chemistry of playing games, right? Because again, we're in two different spots in our life. I ran with this YouTube thing. My YouTube thing started taking off. I fell in love with creating content. I started creating this passion, or not this passion. I started realizing, that I was that I the drive and motivation and creativity that I was missing in my personal career. As a graphic designer, for a small steel fabrication company, of products that I could give two fucks about. You know what I mean? Like that part that I was missing, I was able to manifest into content creation. You know what I mean? And I think that's what I fell in love with so much. And long story short, I made a decision like at some point in time where I was just like, fuck it. Like, nope, don't have any times for any other games. You know what I mean? Like I gotta just do this and push this. I'll try to just only play the games that I want to play, but it's still gonna be games I'm gonna make content on, that it, basically I just cut everything else out. You know what I mean? I cut all the fat, you know what I mean? And I basically was like, I'm a mobile gaming content creator. So when somebody hits me up, my buddy's like, hey dude, come fucking play World of Warcraft with me. Unfortunately, I'd have to send him a message and be like, it's not a mobile game, so I'm not fucking playing that. You know what I mean? Or it was more of like I'm sorry, dude, can't do it tonight. I got to record videos, you know what I mean, for my YouTube channel. Then tomorrow would come and it would be like hey dude, you want to fucking play tonight? I know you were busy last night. Nope, I'm still fucking on the grind. You know what I mean? And then it just eventually got to the point where they just stopped asking me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, like I said, so I didn't hear anything from Curtis for weeks, man. And Curtis reached out to me literally last week, and he was like, "Yo, dude, you got to check out the new Final Fantasy. Is it 14? Is that the new one? I can't remember which one it is." But he's like, you got to check out the new Final Fantasy MMO, blah blah. And I was like, I don't think I got time for an MMO. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't think I got time for an MMO, to be honest with you. And his response to me was like, well, what do you mean? Like, you don't play any other games outside of your games you play on the channel? And I'm like, sure I do. But it's like an Apex, like an Apex Legends, or like, something I can pick up and I can play, 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Or I can play one night and not care about progression or anything, and we basically got in a 35-minute conversation where he didn't understand. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, like I'm at a point now with my YouTube channel where that's my goal. That's my life. That's my baby. That's what I'm trying to manifest. I mean, all of my free time, is being dumped into this, this avenue, you know what I mean? And it's like, if it doesn't exist in this avenue, then I'm out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can't. And then that's what I tried explaining to him, and then we got into like subscriptions, and I was like, cause he got kind of snotty about it. And I basically replied back to him, and I'm like, dude, I can't justify, spending $15 a month, you know what I mean? For an MMO that I'm going to play one day a week, maybe, you know what I mean? With you guys. And then it's like, and then every time I play, I'm like 7 days behind you. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not, it's just not going to fit in my schedule, and I haven't heard anything back from him in like 4 days. You know what I mean? I mean, it sucks because I do understand, you know what I mean? Like friendships, and I do understand, like there's stuff outside of doing content creation. But D, I'm so fucking focused, man. Like, you mean like I'm just so driven in this realm, you know what I mean? Like that, like I don't think I'm drowning anymore. You mean, instead, I'm trying to take what's around me, you know what I mean, and trying to really fucking hone down deep. You know what I mean? And just be like, okay, look, you know what I mean? Like I've got you as, as a friend, as a content creator, I've got Childish Plays, you know what I mean? I'm name dropping now, but Childish Plays as a content creator, Vulcan Game, you know what I mean? I've got all these people, Metal for Breakfast. I've been chatting with that guy, you know what I mean? For, through Twitter. I met a guy through that, game that's currently in pre-alpha, that's also a YouTuber. Like, I'm what I'm doing is I feel like I'm creating these friends, and, and I'm manifesting, this new pool of friends that do the same shit that I do, you know what I mean, that they understand. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what I'm doing. I'm transitioning into this realm of, like, yeah, man, I'm sorry, I don't have fucking time to play an MMO. You know what I mean? I don't have time, you know what I mean, to buy this new game. I've bought 2 fucking games, dude. 2 $60 games for a friend. For a friend that I've never fucking played with them. And that was literally within the past 6 months. I've bought two $60 games that came out brand fucking new and have never played them. And it's not because I just didn't take the, I mean, it is because I didn't take the time, but it's because like I just don't have fucking time. Like I feel like any time that I'm spending not on my content is wasting fucking time. Like that's like the mentality that I'm shifting. And if I do, like I said, and if I do need that one break, I can't justify in my brain, you know what I mean? It's like I'm taking a break and I'm playing Apex Legends or I'm playing another game, do you know what I mean? But like in my mind the entire time I'm thinking like, but this is fucking time that I could be fucking grinding out the game, you know what I mean, to unlock more content so then I can create more fucking content, you know what I'm saying? So like
Right.
that's literally what I'm doing. You know, I'm basically living, breathing and sleeping when it comes to the video game aspect, Cookie Run Kingdom right now or or researched for the next game or finding out, you know, you know what I mean? Like new shit that I could be potentially featuring on the you know, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know, dude. I wish I fucking had the answer for you. I really do. And I don't, it sucks. It sucks, man. It sucks because I fucking love you, dude. You know what I mean? And I know where you're sitting. We've had this conversation a bazillion times. You mean, and I know where you're sitting, but I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know how to help it because you love gaming. You love video gaming. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, how do I sit here and tell you that you should pursue video gaming and that's all you should do? You should just do nothing but video gaming on your channel, but you've been doing that. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, how do I, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like versus me sitting here telling you like, hey, I know you got kids. You know what I mean? And hey, I know you got bills to pay. You know what I mean? Hey, I know you got a nice, you know, fucking, you know, investment portfolio. And hey, I know you got like, you know, enough in your savings, to sustain you for a while. I mean, I know your wife works and makes money, but it's like, you probably should get a fucking job. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't want to be that. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the good, the best option because it's like, again, then you're jumping back into a situation where it's like, you're not fucking happy at the job. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're doing it just to add more money to your bank account to make, whatever, because it's like, I'm either doing this or I'm fucking doing a full-time job, playing games. I don't know, man. It's fucking insane, dude. I wish we lived closer so we could just roll up a blunt and smoke it together. That's what I really wish. I think we would solve a lot of problems, but I don't know, man.
You
I mean,
know,
it's
I literally I quit smoking specifically because of content creation. That's what made me quit smoking.
really,
Yeah. When I decided like 2 years ago to go full time into this and really like give, like you're saying, like give it everything I got to try to make this work. When I had that happen, 2 years ago, when I started this journey of this, which I had been creating content before that, but the kind of that decision that I'm actually going to try to make this a career, I gave it up. Same reason. I just couldn't justify spending the money when
right.
like my thing was like everything needs to be focused towards this, which has
Yep.
been. I mean 2 years of consistent content.
But tell me, but this is what I want to know. The people want to know. We're listening. We're on a fucking podcast. Like what is it? What's going in that fucking Mr. Clean bald head of yours? I mean, what is on your mind? Spitball it. Fucking tell us. Like what everything. I want to know everything. I want to know what you like, what you don't like, what you wish you could do, what you want to do. If you were to fucking start today, like forget what you fucking done for 2 years. Like what is it right now that would drive you to continue to fucking push and make content? I mean, is your thoughts shifting? Is your thoughts on content creation shifting? Are you changing your thought process in the fact that, do you want to pursue more, tutorial based stuff because it works more? Do you want to just say fuck it and go all into streaming? Do you want, I mean, what are your thoughts? Spit them out.
Man, that I think that's the problem is I don't, um not to take this thing too far into the, because I don't want to, I'm not trying to make this episode all like woe is Derek type thing. I let me preface before I go into anything. Let me just say this. Like, I am one blessed dude. Like, I've had issues in life like everybody has issues in life. You tell any sob story, everybody else got a sob story.
Right.
Like I get all that. That's all, whatever. So I want to preface it with saying like I have an amazing wife. Like it took me a long time to finally meet a good woman. Like, 32, 33 before I had a divorce. But like the woman I'm married with today, she's perfect.
Right.
And it for me, like, how
Right.
they
I
say,
know.
like for
We
me,
understand.
I have two beautiful kids. I mean, my son is my world. I have done well financially. I've made some smart choices. I've worked some good paying jobs. I didn't just blow all my money on that stuff. So I do have a nice little cushion egg. Obviously, as you said, I don't want to blow all that and then not have anything, which is why money's still important.
Right.
Because at 36 years old, if I decided to, the nest egg's not large enough to support a 36-year-old for the rest of his life. It's not quite that big.
Right. Oh yeah.
But I've made some smart choices. So again, I'm just saying all this to say like I'm very blessed. There's people out there. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a fucking, honestly, like if you guys could see, like I'm sitting in front of a $10,000 setup around me right
Oh yeah.
now. Like
Oh yeah.
it's fucking stupid. I get that, like for the most part, I do get to do whatever the fuck I want. But I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know if it's any of that stuff or if it's just I've always struggled with bouts of depression. Like, and I hate saying it. I hate admitting it. I hate even bringing it up because I feel like it's such a cliche thing nowadays. Like everybody has fucking depression nowadays. And I don't mean that to like knock on anybody that says they have depression, but
Right. I
it's just
understand.
become such a common thing
Yeah, but you have to
or
understand. Yeah,
such
but you have to
a
understand that the viewers need to understand. Like they know. Like dude, it's real. It's not that it's fake. You know what I mean? I understand that it's become this cliche thing, but it's fucking real. You know what I mean? So like, obviously, it's a truthful statement. You know what I mean? Like like, yeah, dude. Me personally, I don't give a shit about what the viewers think, but like for me personally, like, dude, I know you don't. It's not a fucking ploy. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's not like
yeah.
a just feel bad for me pity party. I understand that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, dude, I just want to know your thoughts, man. I want you to just content
But
creation
that's
in
that's
general.
the problem I have is and I don't know if this is different from other people that deal with depression or not, or but the problem is I don't, it causes me to not know. What happens is I'll make decisions, I'll be good, then I'll have a bout of depression, and it makes me and then I hate whatever it is I'm doing. So what happened, or what, so personally my issue in life has been that I can do anything for about 2 years,
Okay.
and after 2 years I'm bored as fuck over it.
But
uh
then does that ever
and I've never
calculate back
found
out?
anything outside of just playing video games, which I wouldn't even necessarily say is a I want to use the word correctly here. I don't even want to say that gaming is a love for me, but it's the only thing I found that can sustain my attention for longer than 2 years.
Right, right. But I guess what I'm trying to ask or what I'm trying to get to is I'm trying to get to like, okay, so you get bored after doing something for like 2 years. My question is what happens to that something that you're doing after 2 years and you walk away? Is it something that you just never go back after 2 years because you just lose it? Or is it something where like I guess what I'm trying to say is it something that you just take a break and then you come back and then you regenerate and you're all good again? Or is it like, how does that work?
Never go back. um I've never done electrical since I quit doing my electrical business because I got bored with it. I never did. I guess you could say that content creation has a bit of marketing, but I never did marketing again after I had that business and I did that. I just did recycling, for the last couple years. I will probably never work another recycling job in my life. I don't know. Like once I'm done with it, I'm done with it. Like it's just over. I have no interest in continuing the mastery of any of those things I named. Yeah, I don't know. So I
Do
don't
you
know,
think that
man.
you're getting that way when it comes to content creation?
I don't I don't know that I'm getting that way when it comes to content creation or not. I think hmm, I don't I don't no I know I think the problem is it's the one thing I want to work and it just doesn't seem to be working, and it seems to be regressing backwards. And that's I think what's really given me a hard time this time is that this is the like one thing, like I think I could actually make content the rest of my life, but I guess my fear is that it's not content that other people will watch,
And
if that makes
on and
sense.
yeah, and on a side note, your fear is I already know this now because you just fucking unlocked it for me in my brain. So I'm assuming your other fear of never niching down or niching down is also because you're afraid after 2 years you would no longer want to do that anymore. Is that part of it? Is that
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of it
for
why
sure.
you could why you
I
wouldn't want
have,
to
yeah,
do tutorial videos for 2 years because you know for a fact that you could potentially hit that point
well
potentially where
let
you
me
would be
say
like,
this.
I'm done doing these fucking tutorials.
Yes, and it's not just that I hate doing tutorial videos, but
No,
it's
I know. I
like,
was using it as
let
an
me like I'm
example.
gonna yeah, yeah, and I'm just gonna like take it a step further and explain. But like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna take a step forward because I don't want to like name call out people in the space. But
Yeah.
if you like, there's it's that I get bored. I
Right.
don't know how else to say it. And that's a selfish thing. Like at the end of the day, I can objectively sit back and look at myself and say, but that's selfish. There's people out there that need help with this, with that. You can make content around that. You'd be helping them. In return, you'll get views. In return, you get money. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it's boring as fuck to make that.
Yeah, but
I want to make
I don't
this.
think you're alone. I mean, I
I
don't
don't think
think
I'm
you're
alone
alone.
either. I just
I think there's like fucking multitude of businesses out there that happens.
sure.
That that people get into the realm of doing something, do you know what I mean? And like, whether it's, I mean, anything, a fucking flower shop, do you know what I mean? And then they do it for so long. And at some point in time, like you said, yeah, they get fucking bored with what they're doing. You know what I mean? But in my mind, the beauty of content creation is you control it. That's the beauty of it. I mean, at some point you could do
Yes,
something for two
100%.
years. You could do something for 2 years, get bored of it, and then that's when you can go back to the drawing board. You mean and just be like, okay, you mean like I've fucking been doing this for 2 years. You know what I mean? And then it's like, how can I continue to do this, but also switch it up enough to relight that fire. And if I can't relight that fire, how can I, you know what I mean? Kind of pivot, slowly pivot in a way that I can still remain my, you know what I'm saying, like retain my audience and to do all these other things. Like,
Yeah, but I think that's a lot more. I mean, I don't think it's impossible. I mean, there's creators out there that do that that are very generalist in nature. For example, in the gaming space, there's someone like Markiplier who plays whatever game he wants to play. For the most part, I'm sure he still plays. Knows like he does a lot of simulator games, and probably because he knows those do well. But overall, he'll play pretty much any. I mean, I've seen him play all kinds of different games. Um, so there's people that do that, but that's what I'm saying. I think the people that can actually do that, I think it's extremely rare. Extremely rare. I think those are unicorn content creators. And again, I'm not like saying it like that. I'm like, oh, I can't do it or any, like, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, you're like, you do have to make money with content if you're
oh
going to
yeah,
do it full time at
oh
some
yeah.
point. And you can do other stuff, like you said, you can work part-time if you're making some revenue, which I am. You can offset that and do all these things. But I don't know. I guess again, my problem is like, I don't know, like maybe my content's just not good enough yet. Maybe in another year or two my content would be good enough that I could just make content on whatever I want to make content on and it would get the views, whether that's
Yeah,
videos
but
on
do you think?
meditation, whether that's
Yeah, but let
videos
me
on
ask you.
finances, whether
Yeah, but let
that's
me ask you a question. Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Here's a serious thought. Think about this, and I want an honest answer. Do you think that you've gotten comfortable enough to the point where you're not aggressively trying to get better?
I would
Meaning,
say, I would say, hmm.
and I'm not saying that negatively. I mean, I'm just genuinely asking, like, you know, would you say that, the hunger, that drive that you had prior to your first 1,000 subscribers, you mean, or whatever, would you say that that's still your drive today? I mean, or are you on the other side of it where you've kind of, you've got your editor, they're taking care of all most of the editing stuff, besides some of the things you got to check out, and you're just pretty much loading in and playing a game and calling it a day. I mean, and then they're just, dropping videos versus you really putting, in all of that extra fucking drive. I mean, in that extra energy, that you had prior to getting an editor, prior, to everything else. I mean, that really was trying to help manifest, a little bit of creative juices, to try to learn different things and try to switch things up and, to try to experiment. I mean, is it possible that you did get to a point where you're comfortable and you kind of lost a little bit of that
Maybe. I
experimentation?
mean, maybe, but I don't know. That's a hard question to answer, honestly. It's not that I'm not trying to be honest or anything. That's just a hard question to answer. Because the truth is, if I objectively look back at it, my videos are better by having the editor.
Right.
My videos that are being posted to the channel today are objectively 10 to 20 times better than they were when I was editing them. That's just the truth, in my opinion.
Yeah. No,
And
I would
from
agree with
most
that.
people I've talked to, they like the newer videos.
Yeah, which that's fine
Um,
on the editing side of things, but I'm talking about like everything. I'm talking about like you researching, new things, when it comes to, thumbnails and design and placement and keywords and I mean, and trying to source out your videos and SEO, and then not only that, like if something's not working for so long, or not working, but if something's just stagnant for a while, trying something new, an A/B testing. I'm saying like that drive and hunger. Like is
I
has that.
again, I've never had, like, when you call it drive or hunger, to me, I'm imagining like what you were just talking about, where you're like, oh, all my free time is this. And that's true for me, but I've never had this burning desire to be that obsessed with something. If that makes,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word,
Yeah,
but
but I
just
get
the
what you're
way
saying.
you're
Yeah.
making it sound, like, to me, I'm like, that just sounds obsessive. I've never had that feeling in life with anything. That feeling of being so obsessed with something
Yeah.
that but I will say, like, what you're describing, not the feeling side of it, but the stuff is like, yes, like, for example, right now, on my last live stream, I just did a video on an indie game. Why? Because I decided that I'm going to start on my streams doing part of the streams where I'm playing this indie game that a video can be made out of, instead of a popular game that I sometimes play, like League of Legends or something, where there's so much of this competition. I'm going to play these indie games that don't get as much, because when I've done them in the past, like Subnautica, those streams did really well for me. Even though that was a popular game, it's a very old game. So, not like
Right.
you said, not very many people play today. So, I had a lot of people coming in on that. When I played some of these niche games, these smaller games, they did well for me. So I'm implementing that now and trying that out and seeing, like, okay, if I just do these 8 hour to beat games and do them over 2, 3 live streams, so every week I'm going through a new one of those games, will that work? So do I split test stuff like that? Do I try different, if you look at my thumbnails recently, I've been doing more thumbnails where my face is over the character's face or whatever, in these different, because they tend to, that's what's tended to become popular on gaming YouTube channels, and it's working for a lot of other creators. So I've been testing that. So I test this stuff, yes. Do I have an obsessive nature over those details like someone like yourself might have? Probably not. And again, I don't know. I mean, it's, we're listening to not to get all metaphysical here, but we're listening to words from each other. So just saying, by the way you're talking,
Right.
it sounds to me like this obsessive thing. I don't have that. I've never had that with anything. Tomorrow, if tomorrow, if I was handed $10 million, nothing would change outside of I might travel more, but I already travel quite a bit. I might travel a little more, but I would still play video games.
Yeah.
I would still live stream, and I would still make YouTube videos. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm saying that to say like, so yes, there's a desire there to do this. Like that is there. I do attempt to improve the stuff. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but yeah.
I mean, it kind of, it kind of does. I mean, but I mean, I guess going back to what you were saying, I mean, like, it's hard to explain, man. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Like you talk to people who own businesses, and I keep on using that because that's kind of what YouTube is, right? I mean,
Sure.
it's in itself a business. I mean, you're either in it for the money, you're in it for a passion, you're in it for a reason, but like, you're ultimately building a business or a brand.
Sure.
And for me personally, like, and everything that I've heard and talked to business owners, and a lot of it comes down to, they've got a drive, they've got, they're trying to either, whether it's improve their product, to improve their service, I mean, they're constantly looking for ways for innovation. You worked in marketing. I mean, there's, you're constantly doing these things that, you know have some sort of driving factor to them, or should. I mean, it's not, it doesn't have to always come down to, why the fuck am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, that's kind of what I've treated YouTube as. I mean, for me, you know what I mean? I didn't start off that way. I mean, I didn't start off, doing YouTube, you know, I mean, I think I've said this before on one of our old podcast episodes, but like, I started on YouTube because I wanted a piece of the pie. I started on YouTube because I had friends, you know what I mean, who got 30,000 subscribers, 40,000 subscribers in 4 years. Do you mean that I was, helping him with some thumbnail designs, had no ambition to be a content creator. And I just thought, dude, I fucking play the same games this guy does. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to do this shit too. You mean, I want to just get paid, crap ton of money, to play video games. Right. So like, I picked it up and did it. However, I fell in love with content creation. I mean, you know what I mean? I fell in love with the idea of creating something, people are liking it, they tune into it, building this, side community around these, this game or these games, you know what I mean? Helping, then creating guides to help these players, these other people, then meeting these new people, you know what I mean? Then trying to get other game, them interested into other games because I'm interested in, you know what I mean? Like, I fell in love with that aspect. And I feel like that's kind of what drove me into the business side of YouTube. You know what I mean? Where now that's all I do. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't think about it as taxing and and job work and everything like that most of the time. Now, dude, I mean, I literally spend all of my YouTube time like doing nothing but research on how to better perform my shit, or potentially filtering through the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, because you know how it is. I mean, you fucking go to YouTube and you type in how to get a fucking million followers. You'll get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds or thousands of fucking videos, right? But like, I'm saying, like, like, I'm actively trying to look at stuff. I look at the analytics, which can be a good or a bad thing, but I look at the analytics and I'm like, okay, this video is not doing well. Do you mean, it's like, okay, why is that? I look at it, I'm like, okay, well, it's on this topic. This topic's never really been popular. Or I look at it and say, this topic should be fucking way more popular than it is. Let's fucking redesign, split test some thumbnails. Let's do this. I mean, I'm actively trying to do things. Not only that, my content, I'm trying to better perform my content. Like, I don't have a fancy editor, like you, but I still am trying, to work towards, what I mean, developing better, tech, or better, systems, like, okay, maybe instead of making
So let me
15-minute
ask this.
videos,
Let me
I'm trying to
interrupt
make
you.
10-minute videos,
Yeah. Let me
8-minute
interrupt you.
videos. Go ahead.
So I hear what you're saying, and I get what you're saying. And again, I want to preface not to like, but I want to preface I've had 2 successful businesses thus far.
Right.
Meaning let's like netted profited over $100,000 a year
Right.
for multiple years. That the only reason they ended was just because I decided I didn't want to do them anymore.
Right.
So I've not had that drive you're talking about with any of those. I did it strictly for the money, like you said originally I did it strictly because I needed a job and I didn't want to work for somebody else. I didn't want somebody else telling me what the fuck to do. So everything you're describing though is saying, and let me like you're saying, so I fell into the business of YouTube. I fell in love with that. And so I research how to make my content better. I research how to make my video thumbnails better. And you research this by looking at your analytics. And like you said, you research, oh, this one didn't do as good. I can see whatever, like the click-through rates on this thumbnail didn't perform as well. So I try this thumbnail and it does better. So now maybe I make variations on this thumbnail and it doesn't do better, but then it does do better, this variation. So then I take that one and I make a little tweak and I do that. And my videos, I was saying this stuff and it didn't quite work because I saw my viewer retention drop here. And it went from, at 3 minutes, there was this, and I looked at it because I realized like in this part of the video, I said, I went on a little tangent about something I didn't like about the game that I'm playing. And a lot of people tuned out for that. So I won't do that anymore when I make my videos. I'll leave out any personal tangents I might have or any issues I have with the game because that affects my watch time. And I start posting these polls on my community tab on YouTube, and they're doing great, and I'm asking these questions because they get engagement, which works well. I know that I see that these would you rather questions do really well for engagement. So then I make posts like, would you rather kick a wall with a toothpick under your toenail, or would you rather eat a sandwich with 10,000 boogers, somebody else's 10,000 boogers on it? Because I see that it did well, and I know that those absurd questions are going to get more views and more clicks and more votes and more shares. And if I do my videos this specific way, so at the end of the day, you're not creating the content you want to create. You're creating the content that the algorithm wants you to create.
Potentially.
That's where I struggle with it, because eventually it depends, at some point your content's so much different than what you set out to create, because you've made all these little tweaks over time that your content is now what performs best for the algorithm.
But yes and no, because it depends on what you want to create and what your goal is. My goal is to do that. My goal, like I don't have a set content that I want to create. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is like I don't refrain from creating content that I want to create this said content. I'm specifically tailoring an idea. So like, for instance, if I say, I want to make a video today on a tier list for PvP content in the game, I don't have a specific way that I'm like, I want to post it this way, but I can't post it this way. So I need to manifest it into here. That's not at all what I'm doing. I'm saying, I want to make this video. How can I strategically make this video to where it performs like I also want it to perform? Does that make sense? So like, then to me, it becomes this game. Then it becomes to me where I'm like, okay, it's a puzzle. Now I'm trying to solve this puzzle. That's the part that I like. I'm not there. I don't have a drive to create content that I want to create, but I'm not creating it because I'm instead creating something that works for the algorithm. That's not at all what I'm doing. To be honest with you, I could stop creating content altogether and I would be fine. I don't think that I have a drive to create, you know what I mean, like a specific thing, or I don't ever wake up and I'm just like, oh, you know what? I want to make this video tomorrow and I'm going to post it, but I don't think I can do that. Like that's never going on in my head. I look at it more as like my YouTube channel. That's the game to me. The game to me is like, okay, I'm playing this game. There a new cookie or a new hero comes out in the game, right? My mind's like, okay, I want to make a fucking spotlight video on this guy. Okay, boom. What is my notes? Okay, well, I want to talk about these 5 things in this video. Okay. But my brain doesn't instantly say like, oh, let's fucking just turn on the camera and let's just do this because that's what I want to do. No, my brain instantly is like, okay, what's the best way that I can convey these 5 things that will hit all of those targets? How can I retain them visually, swapping up screens, adding transitions, adding in sound effects, how can I change, make these videos better perform to achieve what I want them to achieve, analytical wise, but still generate whatever video it is that I'm trying to generate. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Does that make sense? Like, it's hard to explain, and I get where you're coming from. And I understand that. Like, if you don't want to create a tutorial video, you know what I mean? And you want to just play, or play a game on a live stream, and then that's what you want your content to be or clipped out to be, and you don't want to create the tutorial video, but you know that the tutorial video is going to do way better and better for your channel as far as analytical wise, that part I understand in your case because you're not creating the content you want to create. But that's not the case for me. I chose this game. I'm playing this game. I enjoy playing this game. I have an idea to create a video. How that video is manifest, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a preference on the way that video is manifest, or I don't not say things in my video. You know what I mean? I've never looked at what you're talking about with like your watch time or anything dropped. I've never looked at that because it doesn't bother me. I've always looked at it as more of like okay, this video didn't perform that well. Maybe it was the topic. Maybe it was, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe the thumbnail didn't get a good click through rate or whatever you mean. And there's a lot of times where I still post videos, or I leave those videos on my channel the way they are, and I just keep on moving forward. You know what I mean? Because they still get views. People still watch them. You know what I mean? People still, sure, they might be 800 views out of 1,500 that my normal video would do. Sure. At first, I'm like, it didn't do as well, but I don't dwell in it. I just keep on grinding. I mean, I just make another video the next day. I mean, if it hits 1,500, great. I keep on fucking moving. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever go back and dwell in it, and I don't feel personally, that's not me lying. I'm just saying, me personally, I don't ever feel that I'm like not creating content that I want to create. The only thing I would argue with you would be, sure, has there been times where I wanted to play a game that wasn't what I've been covering on my channel? Yeah, that I would definitely say, sure. Like that I would say, and one could argue, sure, have I wanted to just start fucking making content on that game because I enjoy playing it? 100%. But I think that's the same with any business. You know what I mean? If you look at business owners, if a person has a shoe company, you know what I mean? But yet they fucking really, 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 like these fucking guns, you know what I mean, or whatever it is, and whatever this other product is, you know what I mean? But that doesn't fit well with their brand, that doesn't fit well with whatever, business that they've built. You know what I mean? Like, the guy's not going to just fucking randomly post a gun on his shoe channel, or, on a shoe website. You know what I mean? Like, so, I think it's the same avenue. You know what I mean? Like, I started off with mobile games. I'm building my brand on mobile games. I enjoy playing mobile games. It's not like I don't enjoy them, but there's occasional, sure, there's PC games I love to fucking, that I want to check out. I want to play. I want to buy a full price game, play it on my fucking one day a week. You know what I mean? That I can play it. Or sometimes I do play fucking random games on stream. You know what I mean? I'll jump on a random game and play it. My views drop. Fucking nobody, nobody's in there. I get 10 people in there out of my 50. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Short term, I'm kind of sad about it. You know what I mean? But then long term, I'm happy because it's like, okay, I got to play a fucking game, outside of my normal game. And that's what I wanted to play that night, But I think from a business standpoint, or from me looking at my channel, dude, I don't know. I don't look at it as a negative thing. You know what I mean? I don't look at it as like I'm not posting the content that I want to post. I look at it as I'm trying to build this channel and build this brand around this game, and it's working, and I'm happy with the growth, and I'm happy with where I'm at with it. It's like, okay, here's my idea. Let's build it out. Okay, what's worked in the past? Here's these 5 ways that it's worked in the past, phenomenally in other videos. Let's structure this one. This exactly the same, still hitting on the content that I want to, the topic that I want to make, you know what I mean? Then fucking, producing it that way. I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't know if that answers your question or helps you out or not. I mean, maybe it fucking doesn't. Maybe I'm just running circles. But for me personally, I don't ever get the feeling that I'm not making content that I don't want to make. And I feel like when I ever have felt that, I feel like I just either end up don't posting the video, do you know what I mean? Or I just, like you said, maybe, I don't know, maybe I hit you up, maybe I hit you up in my DMs and I'm like, bro, I'm feeling down today, or, whatever it is. Maybe, sure, but it's not enough. It's not enough for me to feel like it's a burden. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. Like I look at my YouTube 100% as like a business thing. You know what I mean? Like a brand. Like I'm looking to build this fucker up. I'm riding the wave of whatever's working currently right now that I'm still enjoying. That's the key factor. I mean, you know, even if I was done with Cookie Run Kingdom, if I was fucking like hated playing the game, then I'd fucking not feature it on the channel, and it would suffer and it would fucking suck. And I'd be right back to the grind, trying to grind out another game. Do you know what I mean? But I'm still fine. I'm still fine playing the game. I mean, I'm still, having a decent time with it. The community's fucking awesome. They're still engaging. I'm still getting the growth on my channel that I want, and I'm still being able to dabble into other games, you know what I mean, when I get a chance. So I'm here for it. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get everything you're saying. I mean, it makes sense.
I don't know, man.
I guess my only thought would be like, and not like to like, I'm trying, like, I don't want to be like, but like, I mean, I remember when you messaged me
Yep.
about not wanting to do Cookie Run Kingdom as your
I
main
know.
game
Yeah, I
months
know.
ago.
Yeah.
So like, it just doesn't quite make sense when you say that if you didn't want to do something, you want to do it because you didn't, but you decided to do it because it was what was best for your channel. And I guess that's what I'm saying I struggle with, because at the end of the day, I'm like, what's the point? Let's say and let's say I'm in your shoes and I decide one day, like, Cookie Run Kingdom's doing well for my channel, but I decide I don't want to play Cookie Run Kingdom. In my brain, I would never turn it around as you did and say, oh, okay, but this is what's best for my business, so that's what I should do. Because in my mind, the way my mind processes that is, I would say, but I only have one life. I only get to do what I want to do one time, and then it's done for all of eternity, as far as we know. Maybe you go to heaven, but you're probably not doing exactly what you would be doing here on earth or whatever.
Right.
Do you get so why would I ever choose to continue playing a game that I had thought I don't want to play anymore just because it performed better?
Right. But here's the difference. So here's the thing that the audience doesn't know is, you're right. In that period, remember, we had this conversation where it wasn't that I wasn't enjoying playing the game. It was the fact that I didn't want to be known for the game. I at the time I was very centered in the avenue that all of my other content creator friends have bashed on the game. I mean, you know what I mean? Talked about it being a kid's game, talked about it being, a trash mobile game, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to be that person. I didn't understand. I couldn't in my mind, I didn't want to be known as, Kodeations, the Cookie Run Kingdom content creator. I mean, I didn't want to be, known for that in the community. But the problem is I sat down and I talked with like two other content creators that were not in my inner circle, that I've never spoke to, you know what I mean? Like, in DMs before. And just talking to them, and talking to you, I believe it was you and Metal for breakfast, it really kind of opened my eyes to think like, okay, am I lying to myself? Because at the end of the day, I do enjoy my Cookie Run Kingdom videos. I do enjoy talking to, these 13, 14, 15-year-old, kids about, this game. You know what I mean? And not only that, like, I'm at this pivotal point in the game where I can either dump a shit ton of time into the game, focus the game down, and basically accomplish a lot more in the game, or I could walk away from the game and never really, pushing, through in the content, diving deep, all this other stuff. And that's kind of what I hit with my wall with my YouTube channel is I like you said, I was stuck. I was looking at the analytics. I was looking at the fact that, I'm 28 years old playing a fucking game, that's attracting, 13 through 16-year-old kids, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be known for this game. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of my other content creator friends are playing these anime, like art, action RPG, fucking Genshin Impact style games, where it's like, sure, those games are awesome. And I do enjoy playing those games, but at the same time, I can't deny and lie to myself and say that I'm not enjoying playing this Run Kingdom game. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah,
Because
that makes
because
sense.
because that's what I've been doing. And I've been telling my wife this for fucking, I mean, over a year, man, on YouTube, that all of like the most fun that I've ever fucking had is where I'm playing these games that nobody's fucking ever heard of. You know what I mean? You mean and like they're not popular, and my friends, I'm enjoying playing these games, aka this Cookie Run Kingdom game. I enjoy playing this game, but I've just been constantly trying to lie to myself and tell myself like dude, you're 28, man. You can't fucking be known for Cookie Run Kingdom. You can't be playing fucking Cookie Run Kingdom games, man. You got 13-year-olds, around you in your channel. You're not making any fucking revenue. Nobody's dropping donations, because you're playing this stupid garbage, like this is the shit that I would think about. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And not only that, I was in it. I was in it for YouTube to make money. Like, and with that being the number one forefront in my mind, it was like, why the fuck would I be creating this content around a game that's attracting 13-year-olds that nobody's fucking, dropping any donations for me? You know what I mean? There's just constant, bickering back and forth, he said, she said bullshit in my Discord. You know what I mean? I'm constantly doing this stuff, but at the end of the day, I like it. Like that's the problem. You know what I mean? And so I had to just come to the realization where it's like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, that's it. I'm the Cookie Run Kingdom fucking master. You mean you'd be like, that's it. I'm gonna just open it up. Yeah, I play fucking Cookie Run Kingdom content. It is what it is. You call me a fucking kid. I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the mentality and the switch that I had. Not only that, talking to Metal for Breakfast again. I know we've said it a bazillion times. Audience, if you're listening to this damn thing, go listen to Metal for Breakfast because the guy, I don't know what it is, but it speaks volumes for itself. For me personally, it really allowed me to just hone in and just say, fuck it, man. You know what I mean? And like, that's kind of what happened. It was like, I'm in it. I talked to another content creator. I'll name drop again. He's probably never going to even know about this podcast, but Clint Wolf on YouTube right now, go check him out. He covers a lot of fucking games and the mobile games. And I was talking to him in my DMs. Never been in a DM with him before. Talking to him back and forth. And he like literally asked me the fucking golden questions. And he's like, do you enjoy playing Cookie Run Kingdom? And he's like, and I don't mean enjoy it on camera. Do you play the game? Do you find yourself playing the game off stream? Do you enjoy it? Or do you find yourself pulling your fucking teeth out to open up the app and play it? And I said, I enjoy it. And he's like, okay, there's nothing fucking wrong with that. He goes, but you keep on trying to act like you're trying to play these other games and you're not interested in Cookie Run Kingdom. And I'm like, I know, because I'm afraid, to be known as this Cookie Run Kingdom content creator, you know what I mean? And I'm 28 years old, you know what I mean? And, my fucking dad and everybody else laughs at, everybody laughs at me for playing this game. Do you know what I mean? And in my mind, I couldn't get over that. You know what I mean? So the truth is that I'm bringing back to you is it's not to say that I've never struggled with this shit. It's just to say that I kind of just hit a point where it's like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I enjoy playing Cookie Run Kingdom. Yeah, I played this fucking game, you know what I mean, with 13-year-olds, do you know what I mean? And they fucking love my content. I'm addicted. I'm going to tell you 100%, dude. This goes back way back to our fucking addicted to social media fucking episode. I'm addicted to the success, man. I'm addicted to the likes. I'm addicted to the defense arguments in my comments when somebody leaves, somebody left a fucking comment on one of my videos the other day. I could give two fucks because it's been however long I've been on YouTube. I've already grown out of the comment stage, but somebody left a video or a comment on there that said trashations, right? Like the fucking play on my name, right? And it got fucking like 25 comments of like my supporters that was like, what the fuck is your problem? Get off of his page. Like the guy, you know what I mean? But even if they're 13-year-olds, it felt fucking good. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that's my community, man. Get the fuck off my page. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like, I just, you know what I mean? I enjoy it. You know what I mean? And I've grown to love that aspect. And then not only that, I've grown to love the, like I said, the hard work business side of it. I understand the fact that I'm going to fucking spend, almost, 5 days out of, 6 days out of the fucking week grinding out a video till 12 o'clock at night, 1 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean? Because that's what I want. That's what I want more than anything. I want my channel to pop off. I want that video to fucking blow up. I want my community, you know what I mean, to tune in. I want those more subscribers. You know what I mean? I want all of those things more than I want to play a game with my fucking college buddies, you know what I mean, at nighttime where we fucking have a few drinks and then we fucking laugh and bullshit and get off for the night. Because in my mind, sure, I understand it. Life is short, but in my mind, I'm not there. I'm 28 years old. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't have fucking investments. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sure, I've got my 401k. You know what I mean? But like, that's not where I want to be. Like, if I was to something was to fucking happen to me and my wife right now, we'd be fucked. We'd be hosed. We wouldn't be hosed because I've done wrong choices. We'd be hosed because I'm not prepared. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I've, and that's, to me, that hunger is still there. My goal is, like I said, I've set is 5 years. Whether that's going to change in a year, sure, it might. You know what I mean? It might change in 4 years. You know what I mean? Fuck, I might get to 5 years and be like, holy fuck, dude, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do this full time. Or, maybe the opposite. I'm fucking, I'm almost about to break 10,000 subscribers and I'm not even closing out my second year yet on YouTube. You know what I mean? And to me, that's huge. You know what I mean? Like that's way more than I fucking thought I was going to get. You know what I mean? And so like to me, that just keeps on fucking fueling it, man. You know what I mean? And like I said, and that's where I've kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. I've manifest that passion into, I've kind of fucked everything else in my life outside of YouTube. I mean, realistically, let's be for real. Let's talk real for a second. How many fucking times, you know what I mean? Like, have me and my wife had conversations, you know what I mean, where I'm not pulling my weight around the house. It's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot. You know what I mean? Like recently too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of times, where I spend all my fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, passionately trying to invest in this YouTube channel because that's what I want more than anything. You know what I mean? So, my wife, my son, they come first, are my first priority, but I'm saying everything else I've fucked. Everything else, friends, family. I mean, everything outside of that, I've just kind of put off to the wayside. And it's like, nope, I got to make a video. Nope, I got to live stream. Nope, I got to fucking do this. Nope, I got to do this. You know what I mean? Like, and that's maybe not the healthiest, but like, you know what I mean? I've kind of, I don't know. It's hard to explain, dude. So, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I understand where you're at. But at the same time, it's like, that hasn't happened for me for YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, so far. I haven't been on the YouTube platform as long as you. You know what I mean? I haven't grinded out as long as you. I mean, I'm not even at my 2-year mark yet. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't, but I know what you're saying with other shit. I've done that. I mean, I decided to be a graphic design or computer science major. You know what I mean? I fucking graduated from college. I pursued it. I fucking worked at Geek Squad for an entire year and I fucking hated it. Not that it was Geek Squad, because I left Geek Squad, went to fucking another PC warehouse, like a smaller PC warehouse place, fucking fixing PCs, fixing computers. I did it freelance for a while. I just fucking got burned. I just got tired of doing it. I just lost the passion. I was like, ugh, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. I don't want to fix computers anymore. I don't want to do this shit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I decided to go back to school. You know what I mean? But I'm the same as you, man. I can't play a game for fucking, well, besides Cookie Run Kingdom, I've never been able to play a fucking game for that long. I mean, I own how many games on my Steam because I get bored with them. I play with them. I get bored with them. I buy them. I get bored with them. Like, same thing with shit in my life, man. Like, it's the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can ask my wife. I don't know if it's my ADHD brain. I don't know what it is, but I'm the exact same way. But something about YouTube has just fucking clicked, man, where that's what I want. I mean, that's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think it could be a lot of factors. I think my job is cushiony enough. You know what I mean? I think my day job is what I'm talking about. My Monday through Friday, my 40 hours a week, it pays the bills. I just got a $5,000 increase on my salary this year. You know what I mean? That was a huge fucking, like another comfortability level. You know what I mean? All of my bills are paid. We're putting money back in the savings. Do you know what I mean? And not only that, my channel is growing. I'm seeing, ROI. You know what I mean? I'm seeing return on investment come back. And might not be coming in, might not be coming in the fact of like money or revenue, but I'm gaining shit from it. You know what I mean? I'm meeting fucking new people. I'm learning new techniques. All of my I can't even tell you, dude, the last time I've had anything on my channel not being a fucking green arrow, a green up arrow. I've never fucking had, and that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, that all just is tumbling. All of it's fucking rotating. It's driving me. It's, motivation is constantly pushing me up the fucking ladder. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm looking at it as a long-term goal. I'm not looking at it as a get rich quick scheme. I'm not looking at it as it's not working for me today. You know what I mean? Maybe I should just fucking, do something different. No, like, I'm looking at it as like it's fucking working, man. I'm getting subs. I'm getting views. All my shit's growing. I'm actively researching other games. you know what I mean? To look into, to test and to play. You know what I mean? I'm trying to introduce some of those to my viewerships, which you're right. It's 100% fucking hard to convert them to anything else. I would agree with you. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you, this kind of goes against what I'm saying, but at the same time, I'm also treating it like a business in the sense of I'm starting to learn my audience more. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like, okay, what games do they like? What games will they convert to? You know what I mean? Are those any games that I like or that I could like? You know what I mean? Meaning like I've never tried them. You mean like, like maybe I should try playing some of them. Do I like those games? Because I clearly like the Cookie Run Kingdom game that they're playing. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, they all like this game. It's like, okay, let me try that game out. You know what I mean? I'm actively doing that. You know what I mean? And there's some of them where I found, AKA Brawl Stars. I've never played Brawl Stars before prior to my audience built up from Cookie Run Kingdom. I've been playing Brawl Stars. I enjoy Brawl Stars. Now I haven't started making any content outside of live streams on Brawl Stars. Not because I like just think that it would be horrible. It's because I just haven't done it. Honestly, laziness. I've just kind of thought, Cookie Run Kingdom content still going pretty strong. I'm still enjoying that. I'm still pushing that game pretty hardcore. Like on my free time, it's like, I'll just feature Brawl Stars every now and then. They'll all play with me, you know what I mean? And it's fun. And then we play, and then, I get off of Brawl Stars and I don't fucking touch it for 2 weeks, you know what I mean? And then I play, push Cookie Run Kingdom content. And then a bunch of people will be pushing for Brawl Stars on my channel. They're like, dude, you haven't played Brawl Stars in forever. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I totally fucking haven't. Let's try it. Then I load back into it, and then I go for like a 2-day stint, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty fucking sick. I don't know why I'm fucking featuring this on the channel. And then it's like, fuck it. Oh shit, Cookie Run Kingdom got a new update. Fuck yeah, dude, let's jump in here, check out the new shit. You know what I mean? I don't know, D. I don't know if I've got the fucking answers, man. I really don't. I don't know, man. It's working for me. Maybe we talk, 2 weeks from now, and I might have a different point of view. Maybe I'll tell our viewers, like, just don't listen to the last podcast because it's total bullshit. I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. I fucking hate it, dude. I hate that you're dealing with this shit, man. Cause I don't know. You're my rock, man. You're my fucking heart and soul, dude. No homo. I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, again, not to make you feel like your rock's falling apart. I mean, I'm okay. I just let me put it this way. Let's say Cookie Run Kingdom, you loved it, enjoyed it, but you made videos and it did nothing. That I think that would be more like, then you'd understand where I'm at with it. Like, I'm doing what I love to do. Right. It's just what I am loving to do isn't getting views.
Right.
Even
but is it
though
possible?
I think like the videos are good. Like I think
right. But is it possible is what I'm saying, to push that? If you enjoy playing, I'm just gonna use this for example. If you fucking enjoy playing League of Legends, right? Like you were fucking, you're just consumed with League of Legends. Like you want to, you find yourself all the time just wanting to fucking play League of Legends. Is it possible to pursue League of Legends? Like, I mean, what I mean by that is not the same editing structure. I'm talking about.
I think the problem is I don't have that game right now. I don't have like. A couple years ago, that would have been League of Legends. I mean, I played League of Legends for years. I loved it. But I don't have that game right now. And that's why I said maybe.
But why not? So then why not pick something new and run with it? And then until you get bored.
I have been. Or you mean like and only focus on that one game?
Right. Push content hard. I'm saying like, no, like I'm saying like, who cares if you fucking burn out in a year? I'm saying like, for instance, I'm just going to throw this out there. New World, the New World MMO, that just came out. Like, like I'm saying like, why not fucking pick something up that you like, that you're interested in? Don't pick something that you're not interested in. Pick something that you're interested in and fucking roll with it. Just, you got an editor, you know how to fucking do videos. You know how to generate content. Pick something that you like and fucking run with it. Whether it's indie games, whether it's, what's the one, Dead by Daylight, whatever it is. I'm saying like, push it, run with it, and really fucking push that avenue and just see what happens. You know what I mean? Like there's not a problem with variety, but as well as I know, we've said this on the last podcast, fucking probably the past 10 podcasts. Like, you know that variety does not do as well as some sort of niche content. Don't niche your channel down. Just say fuck it and just be like, dude, I love this fucking game. I'm live streaming this game. I'm playing this game. I'm covering this fucking game. And then like anybody that cares about that game is going to tune in. Eventually you'll fucking, you mean like the longer you hang out and play that game, the more fucking people you're going to draw in for playing that game. When there comes a day that you want to quit and drop, you're going to come right back to the same situation where you're just going to be like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to play this new game. And then I feel like you will see a significant difference. I really do. I don't, but again, it's going to rely on you. I think it's going to rely on you mentally telling yourself when you sit down at your chair, do you know what I mean? Like there's going to come times where you're going to be like, I don't fucking want to play this new game, or I don't want to play this game. And if that's the case, then there's no harm in you playing something different. But I think you have to then understand in your brain, you know what I mean? Like at that moment, that couple things, it's going to probably not perform as well as the other stuff. You know, 2, you might not have enough as many people tune in. 3, is it good for your audience? Meaning like, is it gonna, like you said, back to the other person, is it gonna hurt your channel? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or is it going to positively impact it? Or is it something where if you don't feel like doing it, then you just don't make a video that night or don't upload anything or, you know, create anything that day for that. And you play whatever you want to play off stream. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you kind of reset for the next day. Like that's what I'm trying to say, you know, is it's, I don't know, man. I mean, there's so many fucking things that you can do and so many avenues that you can do. But again, I think, yeah, it's just going to come down to you. It's going to come down to what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. And I don't know, man. I think the thing is, you got the personality. You've got the personality. You've got the fucking editor. You know what I mean? I think you're just too much. I think you got your hands dipped in too many things. You know what I mean? And I think that could be hurting your overall content. Again, I'm not a fucking expert. I could be completely wrong.
No,
Maybe I'm wrong.
I agree with you. The problem is that's me. My hand's
Right.
always been dipped in too much. I mean, that's just me.
Right.
That's where I'm saying I get, if my hand's not dipped into, like, let me just give you like rundown. I am currently taking Spanish lessons. I am currently meditating every day. I do yoga occasionally. I jog. I go to the gym and run. I took jujitsu for a year. I, you know, uh, I do different journaling sometimes. Like I'm always, I mean, I've tried every kind of workout routine you can think of. I've tried every kind of I've tried intermittent fasting. I've tried keto diet and stayed in ketogenic states. I've, you know, fucking been married, had kids to see what that was like. Like I've done every kind of outside of hard drugs out there in the world, like anything that gives me some kind of new experience. I purposely request, my wife cooks meals. She started cooking and it's always something new. We've been on a Greek kick. Then I get tired of Greek food. I'm like, all right, let's do German for a while. Start making German dishes, babe. Then I get bored of German dishes and I'm like, all right, let's try vegetarian for a while. So we go vegetarian for 6 months. Then I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should do vegan, totally cut everything out. And then I'm like, oh, maybe we should just do an all meat diet. Like we should try that. And then we should that's my life. Like that's
dude,
me
your fucking wife.
core.
Listen, let's go back to the beginning of the podcast. You know, your fucking statement. Can we just, you can tell your editor to fucking edit this part out, but like, dude, let's go back to the statement. Your wife is a fucking monster, dude. She puts up with all of this shit. My wife is like a 5-meal woman, bro. She's like, look, today we're gonna have spaghetti. Tomorrow we're gonna have, you know, hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. Wednesday you're gonna fucking make a steak and potatoes on the grill. You know what I mean? And then guess what? Next week, I'm like, babe, what are we having for today? We're gonna have fucking spaghetti. Then we're gonna have tacos. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ,
I mean,
your wife is a fucking saint, dude.
My wife loves cooking. I mean, that's one of her passions.
I mean, even outside cooking, like, Jesus, like, how the fuck does she keep up with you? Like,
I don't know how. I don't know. It's the most people don't. It's why I don't have a ton of friends and stuff, because most people can't keep up with. It's always something new. I'm always chasing some new thing. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, that could be a whole separate
Oh yeah.
conversation. I don't want to get into all that.
No, I
But
know.
yeah. But my point just being like, I get everything you're saying. In fact, I mean, it, like, just for reference, I'm not like, I don't care what the audience thinks of me. Like, I think we have that
Right.
established, like, between me and you.
Yeah.
But I just want to say this to, like, to clarify, like, how many times have I sat on this side of the screen and
Yep.
said to you, listen, Cookie Run Kingdom's working. I mean, even the last time you text me, like, oh, I'm like, listen, it's working. Like, beat it till it's dead. And then, like, yeah, you want to do something else, do it, but keep doing Cookie Run Kingdom till
Bro,
it's
how
a
many
dead
times?
horse. Like,
Listen, I want
so
the
I
audience
get
to
all
know this.
that.
Listen,
I
I
get
want the
all
audience.
that.
Listen, I want the audience to know this. How many times, how many times have I come to you and I'm like, bro, dude, like, I just want fucking more. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just getting overlooked, you know, and my content's not doing well and everything. And I fucking, dude, I remember the first time you ever said it to me. And I was like, what the fuck did this guy just say? Like, you literally one time, I can't remember how, like, what the fuck it was on the phone, text message, something. And I remember the exact words. No shit, dude. And this is literally what you said. You said, quit fucking bitching. And I remember that. And I was like, what? And then you were instantly like, you're growing. Your subscriber count is increasing. Your viewers are going up. You're making your money or your revenue's increasing. Your channel is doing well. So quit fucking bitching. And I'm like, you know, he's fucking right. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, why am I fucking complaining? You know what I mean? It's like, all of my shit is working. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously don't lose the drive, you know what I mean, to continue to, you know, to want better. Don't get comfortable where you're at. But at the same time, why the fuck am I wasting my time dwelling, you know what I mean, in some of the shit that I don't have when what I have is fucking working? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
But you're right.
I agree. Yeah, I agree 100%. And I guess all I'm trying to say with all of that is just that when your essence is to do all that stuff, how do you make that work? Because I couldn't ever do what you're doing, which is focus on one thing.
Right.
I just can't do that. I just don't have it. It's not part of my being. But I agree with everything you're saying that niching down works. Focusing on one game or one style, like it works. Focusing on like, you know, making a, you know, not even gaming, but like, if you like, if you're gonna do finance videos, make a finance channel. Don't be fucking doing a finance channel and be like, here's a video of me playing fucking Genshin Impact. Like, duh, no shit. Like, if I turned on fucking Discovery Channel and it's Shark Week and they're showing me fucking, I don't know,
finance shit, they're showing you how to budget your income.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, I get, but my whole being is like a fucking mess. Like, just a, let's try something new. Oh, this is working. I've learned all I know how to make a successful review. Fuck that. I know how to make a review video that gets 500,000 views. I can show it to you on my YouTube channel right now. I don't know how to play this brand new game and get 1 million views on it. That would be fun to try. Like, you know, like, that's my, that's like me.
Listen,
like, I already,
let me ask
like,
you a question.
Oh, you had a successful Toro. You had a successful review. Let me
ask you a question. Hold on. Why the fuck not do that then?
What do you mean?
Why not? Why not? Listen to yourself right now. Why not just say fuck it, and that's what you do? Like, I'm talking about.
That is what I've done. Though.
No, it's not what you do. Listen, I'm saying you're sitting behind a fucking on a computer desk making a fucking video about something. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you do you. Like, you fucking turn that camera on, you're going to the fucking grocery store and it's like, you know what I've never fucking bought? I've never bought this nasty ass fucking shit that's been sitting in the store and I've been walking around for months doing. Let's fucking try this thing out, you know, or the next thing. It's like, you know what I've never fucking done? You know, today, welcome back to the channel, everybody. You know, whatever you're doing, wherever the fuck you're at. I mean, I've never fucking been, bungee jumping. I mean, off of this fucking, thing before, I wanted to fucking try it today. You know what I mean? So here's my video, me fucking like, but just own that. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's OMG, it's Derek's channel. You do whatever the fuck you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, and then just be that. Be that. Be exactly that. Don't be a tutorial guy. Don't be a fucking video game guy. Don't be a fucking person, who sits behind the camera and does this because that's what it is. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. If that's what your persona is, you just sat here and explained to me for fucking 25 minutes that Derek is the person who doesn't fucking know what he wants to do, and he's always looking to do something different, and then he will do something for so long until it gets tiring or bored or whatever, and then he wants to move on to something else and do that. Then fucking do that.
I mean, I like that. I
mean,
think
we talk more about it off. We can talk more about it off podcast.
Yeah, I think I will just let's end it with this. I think I've had that same thought. I think the problem is most people, and I don't mean most people online, like viewers are fucking viewers. Like, and I mean that respectively, but I'm also like trying to emphasize that like viewers aren't shit, because what really matters is personal life at the end of the day. Friends, family, viewers are great. Friends and family, much greater.
Right.
IRL people that you're close to don't like those types of people, because those types of people are fucking crazy. And so your whole life, if you're that style of a person, your whole life is everybody trying to rein you in from being that type of person. And I think it takes a toll on you after years and years and years.
Yeah, we'll end it on that. We'll talk more after the podcast.
So with that said, hopefully you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. Hopefully this helped you guys. Hopefully it wasn't too far out there. I know we kind of went down a rabbit hole, but sometimes that's what these podcasts are. It's just, like I said, two content creators talking about shit, and we follow where it goes. And we try. I think we've always done a good job, and I do hope, even episodes like this, I do hope it gets seen by the right people who need to see it, because I don't think people talk about this shit too much. I think a lot more content creators, and not just content creators, but people in general, have these types of feelings in life where they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. I would argue most people probably don't ever know what the fuck they're doing.
Correct.
So I think it's good to talk about this stuff, even though they can kind of go down a rabbit hole or feel kind of like, oh, woe is me type talks. But so hopefully it helped in some way, if just letting you see that other people deal with this crazy ass shit that we all deal with as humans. With that said, Kodeations, before we officially sign off, if people are interested in finding out more about you, hitting you up on the socials, looking at some of your YouTube videos, where how's the best way for Kodeations to be discovered?
Well, that's going to be Kodeations.com. So go to Kodeations.com. You can find links to all of my social media accounts that I actually, check and don't neglect. And not only that, guys, please, we ask you to drop some ratings, drop some reviews, drop some comments wherever you're finding our podcast. We would love to hear from you guys from the community. And with all of that being said, if you would like to be a guest on the channel, don't forget that we do like having guests here on the channel to talk about anything and everything when it comes to different topics, whether it's, around technology or video games or, anything. So we do invite you guys to reach out to us. You can, like I said, both of us have websites, mine is Kodeations.com. I believe yours is what? OMG, it's Derek.com, right?
Correct. OMG, it's Derek.com is the best way to find all of my stuff. Same as Kodeations, has links to everywhere. Super appreciate it. And also, yes, please leave reviews. Please leave whatever. Share it with a friend. All of that good stuff. We really, really do appreciate it. I don't know. And if anybody's listening and you like our podcast, let me even extend this a little further past review thing. If you like our podcast, and by chance, you know what we could be doing to better get it out there, because I know nothing about podcasting. I just know, for whatever reason, just like everything else I said, I decided one day I wanted to do a fucking podcast, and I started doing a podcast. And I just don't have the time to put in the research of how to promote a podcast with all of the time I put into my YouTube channel and everything else. That it admittedly kind of gets put on the back burner, and we just kind of do it with hopes that maybe it turns into something. If nothing else, a chance of practicing being able to talk about anything on the spot.
Right.
But anyways, if you have any ideas, or a little bit about the podcasting world, definitely hit up one of our websites, hit us up, talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. Because like I said,
not only that, I want to put a little, not only I want to put a little shameless plug in here. Also, too, if you're looking to just join a live stream and talk and chill, both of us do live stream, I believe, at the same times, don't we? Isn't it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
Yeah, I switched from Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays.
Right. But we're both running Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can find either of our links on both of our websites. Jump in one of our live streams, or both of them at the same time, whatever you feel comfortable with. And yeah, I mean, we'd love to have you over there too. So
yeah, for sure. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it as always. We love your faces. We hope you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, night, whatever time it is for you. And we will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Later.